Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back to another episode of the NSDC podcast with your amazing hosts, Jesus, Sergio, aka Don't Even Worry, aka ElusiveCollectables, aka Monster in the Iron Mask.
There you go.
Yeah, thank you, bro.
He's doing way better at Elusive or Sergio ever done.
Yeah. We're gonna have to use him for some voiceovers,
It helps. I'm telling you, the mic only guys. How's everybody doing?
Man, fantastic.
Chilling, bro.
Fantastic.
I thought you were about to hit me with a sensational.
Oh, that's class. Super,
Super. Oh, okay. Some people don't believe in S class. That's kind of weird, no?
Oh, yeah. Some people.
We're gonna start off with
That's too early. It's too early.
What do you mean? What are you talking about? I was meaning like I don't know. Is this some conspiracy shit?
No,
not at all. You're the leader. See, he's leading the conspiracy on this.
That's crazy.
No, well, because the way y'all react is like some other shit. No, it just means some people don't like the whole S above A. You know what I mean?
Yeah. That's what we're talking about too. Yeah, how we rank cards and shit.
Yeah.
Well, shout out to True Blue.
Sorry, but for the people that played, I don't know if you guys remember like Time Crisis, House of the Dead, stuff like that.
Time Crisis. Oh my goodness.
Remember that shit?
That's
you fit. Yeah, with the
arcade where you get the gun.
100%.
Oh,
that was the one where you put your foot on the pedal and it would put like your character up and you'd be able to shoot and stuff.
There you go.
Yeah, those were.
By the way, even in Korea for competitive StarCraft, they call there's Class A and then there's Code S.
Code S.
Code S.
Yeah,
I like that.
But it's still an S. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I like the code in front though.
Yeah.
And one of the Street Fighter games, like more the modern ones, but I know Third Strike too. Like when you beat a character, there's like D class, like hey, your defense is low.
Oh yeah.
Your power pool is high.
Like a starter fighter.
Yeah, like you're a little newbie.
Yeah.
But no, there's no conspiracy. It's too early. We just started the podcast. Just catching up. We right before we started, we were talking about the Heritage auction. So a couple people sent me the link, or send the link to the foreign comic hobby lobby, I guess. And I clicked on it, I checked it out, and just like surprisingly, man, like bro, like some of those items just had like 0 bids, and some stuff that like you might be like, hey, like yo, $10-$20 on it, like yo, 0 bids.
Wait,
absolutely no
Heritage,
bids.
You say?
Heritage auction, yeah.
So, but what kind of like form? Like just keys or like?
Nah. I mean, so some keys, obviously like the keys are gonna sell. That goes without saying. Like I think there was like a Hulk #1 Israeli, I think it was something like that.
The blue cover.
Yeah, the blue cover. And then there was like there's another couple other big keys, but like I'm talking about like the smaller, like maybe just like the cover, stuff like that, like horror, which usually sells pretty well. Some of that stuff was selling for dirt cheap, man, like dollar bids to the end where like, time expired, like, yo, nobody bought it,
You know what surprises me about those, man? Because, even though we both just started, we're pretty new at the foreign stuff. Some of these guys pay crazy amount of money for some of these keys. Again, I'm not a key collector, so it doesn't affect me in any way. But for even that book that Sergio brought up, I think someone said that like the last sale might have been like around, or no, someone was talking about the opening bid was $1,500 for a 3.0, and everybody in there was like, "Oh, that's a great deal." I was like, "Is this the 2016 MM group? What's going on?"
Yeah.
That's interesting.
I mean, that's super to me. I don't know. I mean, that's pretty high, but again, we're in New York, so we don't know, like, and then there's, the same thing people say about Marvel cards when it comes to comps, how a lot of them are private. It goes the same for foreign books. Like it's tough to
send a little bit for foreigns, yeah.
Yeah, and also they're far and few between that come up for sale, especially those kind of keys. Like think about the book you just got from Doom and the book you just got from Leo. No one's gonna know those comps.
No,
like not only not know those comps, but also like those books don't even come up in general. So my point is this: it's hard to price some of this stuff,
Yeah, that's definitely a hard thing. And then like you have people like, for example, like the Doom prototype book. Some people just like they don't care for that. They just don't really care. Like if it's the Doom prototype book, they only people that are kind of like versed in that, like realm of comics are gonna really care about that.
Yeah.
Someone that's like, just collecting keys, that might not even like, it might go straight over their head. If you're a Doom collector,
Would you consider that like a minor key though?
Yeah,
I mean, I think that's a pretty major key, to be honest, because
obviously,
even if the name isn't Doom, right? The name's not Doom, but that's the first appearance of the mask.
just because you got the book, Sergio, don't be overhyping it right now. You know what I mean? Because I still don't got my copy, bro. Like,
everybody else could pump their shit. Everybody else could pump their stuff.
Pump and dump. Wow, it's crazy.
We're pumping hey, Sergio, we're trying to pump books that come up once every 5 years.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, those are the best ones to pump and dump.
Yeah, if you have multiple copies,
you can control the market.
No,
Typical Marvel card behavior now. Foreign comic books.
Wow.
No.
Some things just never change.
Look, I'll be honest.
Who showed you that playbook? Where'd you see that from? Doom.
Hold on. Can I answer that question? Can I answer that question first?
Yes, you may.
Observations, my G.
You're a super observationalist for sure.
Listen, here's my
100%.
statement. Here's my statement. I learned that from Jesus. You know what I'm saying? I learned that from Doom. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Oh, I did that?
100%.
I'll take any 100%. Props. You know what I mean? They're hard to come by nowadays. I'll take them anyway.
Early on, you grab stuff, and then you flipped out of it. That's what the play was,
Oh, 100%. I had some nice things.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, look, that wasn't my intention, but it happened for sure.
And it was definitely never my intention to maybe flip out of certain things, but hey, at least for the book that I picked up, he really wanted it. I figured we could just figure something out, and we were able to. But other than that, if that wasn't the case, it would just it'd be sitting there, Yeah. And I think that's the hard part. That's the hard part, I think, with for me at least. I can't speak for everybody, but for the cards. Is that I gathered them, I have them assorted, I have them a certain way, but then they're just not, now that it's that, it's just put away,
Yeah.
And my books, I just play a little bit more, you know what I mean? I have them out, it's a little bit different. So yeah, I don't know. I think for sure I'll sell any card before I sell some of the comics that I have,
Or some point you might feel the same way about the comics. You just never know.
And right now,
it wouldn't surprise me. By the way,
I'm picking out. Yeah, I'm picking out a couple of things that I could sell. Like I said, dupes, extras, whatever things that maybe just came as extras. When I put my purchase, but the stuff that I'm keeping, the stuff that you you're PCing. That's a whole other conversation.
I would like to say this. Take the time to give a PSA to people. You can do both. You can sell your collection anytime, bro. There's no restrictions. Just have fun with the hobby. I mean, I feel like a lot of people put too much pressure on themselves.
Well, let's be fair. It does happen, man. I was talking to a new collector in the Marvel space, at least, and he was messaging me on IG and asking me if I was willing to sell some of those Japanese prisms I have. And
nice.
Yeah, we started getting into a conversation, which I can't. I already sold the Storm, and I haven't graded some other ones, but. Point being, is he was mentioning to me that he lives in Australia, and that before he moved out there, because he was in the States, he sold off all his PC, and he regrets it. It's I'm sure he doesn't mean he regrets every damn card, but my point being is that sometimes, you sell things because if you need to, and it's for a family or an emergency, I totally understand it. But sometimes, to your point, the people that just move it because they're bored, and then later on they regret it, that also exists.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now you know what you really like. You know what I mean? Now you have some. At least you got money back, and now you know that you really want it, so you can go buy it again. It's the.
I mean, if it's available, but you're definitely refining your taste as you go, for sure. I see that with you.
Yeah. And I've seen it across the board with a lot of the homies we know, collected for the past couple of years. Yeah, I just feel sometimes. There's a little bit of hoarding going on, and sometimes you're collecting. There shouldn't be a pressure either way. You can go get it again. We also seen enough rare things that shouldn't pop up again, find their way back. So there's always a shot at things.
Yeah, and you know what's interesting about that too, man? I've never thought about this to bring it up in the podcast and ask people to comment on it if they're down. But you brought up hoarding. I do wonder because that's also probably perspective. What's hoarding to Michael Cole card life? versus what's hoarding to you, or what's hoarding to Sergio, or or anybody in the hobby. And so here's a question:
Yeah,
how many Pelican cases is too much, in your opinion?
I mean,
case
listen,
by case.
Yeah,
That's
I think it's
my
a
point.
case by case. Because
Yeah.
listen, it's really tough for someone like when you say cool card, he grades a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
Like, bro, if I had a fucking closet full of slabs, like I assume that he probably has somewhere in his house, I would sell a lot of that
100%.
stuff off. I would sell a lot of that. I would sell a good amount of that stuff off because unless you're keeping it for like a purpose, like listen, you have it up for 100, but it doesn't sell, dude, throw that shit up on bids. Maybe it sells for 40. Guess what? That's the most you're gonna get right now because no one's paying the 100.
But some people, I get it, but I would say he's someone that he's in a position to. He doesn't
enjoys
need to
doing
it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So yeah.
It's part of the hobby for him to grade things, right?
Yeah.
And build
it's his
those
niche to
collections.
do that.
And to be fair, he does have 2,000 listings up. So it's not like he's not, like, he's definitely trying to move inventory and get into new inventory.
I guess for me, and again, this is very like my perspective because everyone's perspective on hoarding is going to be different in the hobby.
Yeah,
it's like you own or you're trying to get every one of a character, or like every printing plate, or like you're overpaying. Like we know like certain price ranges where like cards make sense, and then when you're like overextending, like 4xing on a card no one else is going to want. That's to me when you hit that hoarding level, like, bro, you're doing yourself a disservice. Don't chase it. Like, just let it be. Like, you don't need everything. Like,
go ahead.
What about like not to call anyone out in this chat specifically, but like is hoarding getting dupes or trips of something? You know what I'm saying? Like I don't know.
Oh, that's definitely hoarder behavior for sure.
Oh, all right.
I mean,
so
some people would call
like
it slick moves. You know what I mean?
Especially when like friends are looking for copies. I mean that's
it's crazy. It's wild.
Yeah,
you gotta, but you gotta complete it. What am I do? Give you 2 out of 3? Be like, I got 1 out of 3, 2 out of 3, or you want the whole set? You want the whole set, right?
No, I just want 1 copy. No,
I know. But I need to get. I mean,
Well, it felt personal to me, and then Sergio, I guess there's some more relevant currently with Sergio going on.
It's good you bring that up, James.
You do the cards.
Yeah,
you do the cards.
I had dupes, triples, 10 copies of cards. And I remember a young Sergio 2 years ago coming by like, hey, I want one of those diamonds. And I'm like, you're my friend. I'm gonna sell you a diamond. Is that a 10? I mean, here you go. Because we're friends. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's true.
And I ain't taxed him. It was like, homie price.
I got a diamond from you too, to be honest.
Yeah. Same price.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, we've always done that I mean, that is it baffles some people. We won't get into that, but we you know what I mean? We definitely sell each other stuff at what we pay for it. But that's just, our inner circle. So don't be hitting me up thinking I'm gonna sell you for something I cost. You know what I mean?
Oh no, that's
little Johnny needs shoes. Yeah. Speaking of, like I was just talking. Yeah, I mean, let me skip that for now. I'm gonna save you for the next episode. My bad. Go ahead, dude.
Oh wow, I want to know what the hell you're talking about. There's gotta be some.
Wow, yo, you're gonna edit this shit out, dog. You see, you're cussing yourself more stuff. You didn't have to say that.
That's all you bet.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, except for
Yo, guys, we're cutting this out. That's all I'm saying.
No way, cutting that out. No way.
Oh, we are.
Nobody knows what you're talking about.
I will bleep it.
Call me Kamala Harris, and I won't edit. You know what I mean?
Elevator music right now.
And we're back. Here you go.
A
little elevator music, early on. This is probably our earliest elevator music.
Again, it was me. Sorry, guys. I did my best, but sometimes I was slipping.
We're at 15 minutes. We already got 1 elevator music, but anyways,
just because I don't want to. I don't want to like ruin what's going on. You know what I mean?
There you go. Yeah. Thank you. You know what? I appreciate
like Sergio's in free situation. Like no one was trying to like put that out there for any misplays or nothing like that.
I mean, I don't really care. Like, listen, I'm gonna post it no matter what. Like,
No, I'm talking about when you guys were
now
still
before you got it done, though.
Yes.
Oh yeah,
That's what I'm saying. I haven't got anything done.
I definitely feel. I feel like sometimes you gotta like check it off and then be like, all right, you know what I mean? Like they talk about.
Yeah. We got. I mean. Yeah, we'll move forward. But I was just gonna say, dude, we even got to take out the name I brought up because that says.
Oh yeah, no, I'll bleep all that. I'll make it funny.
I appreciate you, man. Because there's fools out there with black books and they just hear a name and they already know where it goes to.
Oh wow, there's a lot of homework going on. Look, that just means we have very good listeners. Yeah, appreciate all the very strong listeners to this podcast out there. Bro. But yeah, again, like we were talking about collections, like they changed. You don't have to keep everything. You can switch it up. I've seen Sergio do it. I don't know if the Elusive's done it as lately, but
what I have done to that point is I have sold a lot of the multiples. You remember I had 3 Platinum Portrait Gambits. Now I'm down to 1. I had 3 of the Spidey Autos from 15 Flair. I'm down to 1. I had 5 of the Venom McFarlanes. I'm down to 2. So like I am selling off the dupes, which was the whole plan to begin with. It's just in what order and how I wanted to do it. That I wanted to have the ability to pick when I let it go.
Well, also like what market? Because the market now is a total different market that was like 3 months ago.
I mean, exactly. Look, think about it. Even for me, some things are slightly lower now, and some are drastically lower. But we were talking to someone that even when I was picking up dupes, they were doing the same play, but picking up 6 of something, and they thought they would be able to move it at any time, and now they're kind of stuck with that as well. And it was a little bit lesser characters, so that was always a risk, and that's what I always meant to like when I kept repeating myself to people. It's like, guys, buy dupes of like really big characters, because when it comes time to you wanting to let someone go. Even if it's a B tier character, sometimes they just sit there. Like there's so many deals right now that are just sitting, even though they're great characters, but they're not Wolverine or Spider-Man or Venom or something big like that, So it's unfortunate.
The S class, right?
S class. There you go, Code S.
Or Code S. I like Code S now. I'm rocking with that. But yeah, we were talking about this, James. I know you mentioned that as a topic, like. And for people, and we've had you on the show before, but for people who don't know much of you, can you like introduce yourself? What you collect? What's your area of expertise, and how many W's you got over Sergio? Also, I'd like to know that too.
Oh, that's crazy.
Oh wow. Well, I don't know. Last time I was on here, I don't know, man. It's so hard to think about because I've spent since our last time that I was on, I spent a lot of time reflecting. And I've like almost backed myself into a corner and kind of like typecast myself as like strictly doom collecting. And that's, I don't know. I almost hit like a funk for a little bit. And
trust me, I've been there.
Yeah. It's just like a slum, like nothing really appealed to me. And almost to pull a Sergio, like the new comics that they were dropping and the new covers all were just straight ass. They just looked horrible, So I was looking to the older books. And then, shout out Manu. This one's huge. So he was on a while ago. And also, too, he had made a post probably like a year ago. And he was hyperfixated on Amazing Spider-Man 311. And that's the cover, the Todd McFarlane cover with like Mysterio and the reflection in his helmet.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
That's a dope
one. I never really took Mysterio seriously. I was like, that character's ass. Like I just didn't like it, ignored it, moved on.
I actually, a fun fact, James, not to cut you off real quick, but I got to shout out Sergio on that. I was actually misinformed into investing into Mysterio, and it didn't work out.
Oh
wow! So just to clarify, here's the problem, James.
Well, the first step, the first problem, you're investing in Marvel cards. Number 2,
the first misstep was the Marvel cards, but that's the lesson learned, in foresight, right?
Oh, we all did that. Don't even worry.
Exactly. The second mistake is that, hey, in comics, like you just mentioned, he is a dope character. It's just not. It doesn't relate when it comes to.
Yeah, you could have told me that. You know what I mean? You could have told me that. I know. Now, continue, James. My bad. I just wanted to throw that out there.
So Manu was like hyper fixated on this cover. And I kept staring at it and reading his post. And he kept posting about it. And after a while, I was like, damn, that is a sick cover. I like that one a lot. And then I became super hyper fixated on ASM 311. And I just dropped all the Doom stuff for a little bit and just was like hunting ASM 311. And I found quite a few different forums of it. I went to I did my homework, went to the GCD, and there's only so much on GCD, as we all know.
Yeah.
And I was able to get most of what was on there. I have more. And then I was able to find a Greek one that's not on GCD. And I basically get like 4 or 5 covers for that now, with like all different places. And
he got me on that one because I collected that cover. I never posted it, but I got like the Turkish one, the Mexican one.
Yep.
And there's like another one that I have, but I'm missing the Greek one. Some of the OG, Mysterio covers are relatively pretty dope, First appearances.
And there's not too many, which isn't too bad. So you can actually find a good majority of them. He's not a character.
That was interesting because I went, I picked up Black Suit, the Spectacular Spider-Man 101, the John Byrne negative space, like the upside down Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I chased
Andrew likes.
Yeah, I chased that one just because, I think that's like a sick cover. I'm missing one. I think I'm missing 2 actually. Like overall.
Speaking of on that point though, James, like it's funny because you mentioned, just to clarify, you said I dropped the Doom stuff. By that you mean you just stopped buying? You halted that buying? You didn't sell any of the Doom stuff, right?
No, I haven't sold anything at all ever.
So that right there is called a side quest. What you did.
Yeah.
Because you know what I mean, you didn't liquidate what you had. You just you paused and went to something else. Yeah, that's
absolutely dope. I've been hyper fixating quite frequently on different covers, even ranging outside of Marvel and like DC. And again, like you guys talk about like influencers, and I've spent a lot of time thinking about this. Like I'll listen to the NSDC podcast and I'll be cutting grass, and like I spend like 9-10 hours a day by myself, not saying a single word. And I just think all day and reflect on collecting and the hobby and everything. So
he's about to blame us for something.
Yeah, no, I'm actually getting some positive. Like in the friend circle I have and the people I follow, you're not trying to be influencers. You're showing the shit that you like, and it's influenced me. Like yet again, shout out Manu. You could say he's an influencer, or he's just showing the shit that he likes, and that influenced me in that cover. And it just, even with Doom over here, like he got into, like he was just dropping Batman left and right, and then like my brain instantly went to Batman the Animated Series.
Yeah.
And then I started hyperfixating on those covers and shit like that.
Yeah, and don't forget that Italy McFarlane cover you got me on, right?
So I went out and found it. Don't worry about that. Don't even worry about that. I went out and found it.
I wasn't.
I'm not going to post it. I know you got it. You influenced me. You know what I mean? You influenced me to go get it. Like the Magnola, the Batman Magnola that Doom card got a while back with Mr. Freeze on it. That is phenomenal, and I was able to track that down. But like, I'm not going to post that. Like I just wanted it for myself because it was so sick. Because you influenced me. You know what I mean? So like, it's a positive way of influencing.
Right.
I thought it was maybe when I get called out by Doom or like let's crack a joke. You pick one up. I think it's honestly. I think it's a cool thing. I think we all influence each other in different ways.
Yeah.
He might, like you said, like Doom shows some Batman shit. Obviously, like who doesn't like Batman? There's a lot of naysayers out there, but like come on, guys, everyone loves fucking Batman, bro. Come on, he's like in his own like thing. It's like he's DC, but like, he's kind of like in his own element.
Yeah, it's his own league, and we'll get to that later in this episode. Definitely, a lot of people love Batman lately.
But it's true. I think more than anything, to James's point, like when you said that you saw Doom post something about Batman, and right away your brain went into Batman mode. That happens to me, and I'm sure all of us all the time. Like even in general, when we're scrolling, it doesn't matter what account it is that we follow. Sometimes you're thinking about, for example, I might be thinking about like anime, and then all of a sudden I see something, related to Uncle Scrooge, and then all of a sudden my brain remembers, even though I've been down that rabbit hole. But sometimes you revisit stuff, when you see someone bring it up on something recently.
Yeah, it's the nostalgia, right? It's just like certain points of pop culture that everyone has a nostalgia for. You being Uncle Scrooge, me being like Goofy, all kinds of shit, like Ninja Turtles. Like there's so much stuff, and even now, like after Johnny's episode, like the Transformer thing, like I really been looking at Transformers comics and just like the figures themselves and the cartoon. Like just certain things from my childhood I remember, but I didn't really get into. But there's still nostalgia for it because I remember being on TV or VHS or wherever, going to the, Toys R Us or whatever. Like it's there.
Mm-hmm. So
touch on that Uncle Scrooge. Elusive, you when you posted Uncle Scrooge, I was like, damn, now I got to pick up some Uncle Scrooge. You know what I mean? Yeah. So I grabbed a couple covers. Nothing foreign, nothing wild, just to have a cool one or two. And then you saw that I showed you guys that I got that Uncle Scrooge tattoo.
Yeah, that one's sick. Yeah, super sick. Shout out to your tattoo for sure, man. Because I don't have a single tattoo, but you almost got me. I told my wife, I was like, this is crazy. Check this out.
Well, yeah.
She has some tattoos. I just don't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
why? Where would you get it, Elusive?
It's not that it's not so much why that I'm against tattoos or why I don't have one. It's mainly because I haven't seen something that's got me like, damn, I permanently want to have this on me. Except for my children, I have thought about someone, but I'm waiting to find an artist that because for me, I gotta really trust someone for them to tattoo me, and then especially with portraits. I feel like that takes someone that specializes more so in that. I don't want someone to go to a tattoo shop that does everything and then be like, yo, can you do my daughter on my shoulder? And here's a photo for reference. And then it looks nothing like the reference photo.
That they completely mangle it. Yeah.
I think that's what's hindered me from like getting a tattoo more than anything is I don't want to like be super upset. Cause I don't know if you remember this a while back. Like I bought a foreign comic and I ended up tearing some of the front cover accidentally because the fucking guy shipped it with regular tape instead of painter's tape. I was pissed off about that all day. And now imagine if that was permanent, a tattoo on me, and I messed it up. It's crazy.
Oh yeah. Did you pick up painter's tape after that incident?
Wow, I appreciate you bringing that up again, James. That's crazy.
Yeah, hey, no problem.
No, I've been a lot more careful before, and I'm still super early to comics, man. So I'm sure I'm doing things as we speak that are not tape related that I'm still not handling them the way they should be.
That's just one of the risks we take buying foreign comics. Like you get these weird tape placements, these weird like garbage bag, like a grocery bag, like taped up.
Yeah, I didn't go to Sprouts. I was just trying to buy a book.
No, seriously.
But before we leave this tattoo topic, if you did have to choose one cartoon character to tattoo, what would it be? Vegeta?
Oh, yeah, I think so.
That's tight. There are some sick Vegeta tattoos out there.
Yeah, but that's easy, Lucy, because there's a lot of like good like Dragon Ball artists like tattoo style.
I don't know.
Fuck. I don't know, man. That'd be a tough one.
He's gonna do it.
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, like, dude, the easiest answer would be to give you Doom, but if it wasn't Doom, like if it had to be like something else, because it's like the obvious answer.
Vegeta's a good.
I know what he would do. Doom. I got this. You should have asked me, Doug. Sergio.
Yeah, go ahead. What would Sergio get?
Yeah, Sergio would tattoo his record against his son on Street Fighter.
Oh yeah, the ongoing record and like
4-1 or whatever.
Right, like 0-24 or something like that.
Yeah,
you get like a sick like an old style like a Kuma. You know what I mean?
By the way, you get Zelda. Yeah, has he scored on you, or is he really dropping a donut?
Not in Marvel's Capcom 2.
He hasn't scored. He's dropping a donut over
there. Big.
Oh wow.
Wait, like what's the current like leaderboard? Like what? How many times have you beat him?
I mean, however many times to zip, Okay. So it doesn't give you like a current record, but like because it's like
more than 10.
Oh, more than 10? Absolutely more than 10.
More than 20?
Absolutely more than 20.
Like 50?
In the 100 at the range.
Wow. Oh yeah, that's.
To zero? I don't.
He's also unlucky because just based on like luck, he would.
I don't. Johnny, I can't wait till Johnny gets that PS5. Bro.
Listen, I again, I've showed you the gameplay. You know, anybody at any point in time, and I put it out there before. Nobody wants to throw it down. Just throw the challenge.
I didn't know that was you. How do we know that was you? That could have been AI nowadays.
That's me.
Know.
Listen, when you download it and I put it on you, you're gonna feel like it's AI. I'll be like, I don't know what's going on right now.
He said it's AI. Oh wow.
No, but listen, it's kind of scary because some of these kids, bro, like they learn like little infinites, and it's just like it almost makes the game like play like you can't even play it. But I mean, at least for me, like I'm trying to trying to get up in there, But I'm definitely not, like I said, I'm not like some crazy diamond player, but I'm competitive for sure,
Yeah.
Nice. I like that. I'm still trying to think what I would choose for a tattoo. It would be between like Charlie Brown, Ninja Turtle, or like a Bart Simpson. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
No.
I got Garfield as a devil. I got a bunch of Simpsons characters. I got Homer as the
Garfield's
Reaper.
good.
Yeah,
that's nice. Or like one of those the zombie versions of the Simpsons. Those would be nice.
Yep.
The treehouse.
Yeah, the little alien Mr. Burns. When he's like all spaced out.
Oh, and he's glowing.
Yeah. I love that image. I recently saw a card that looked like that.
And how do you guys feel about those tattoos that supposedly you can like scan them and it plays like some audio clip?
I think that's weird.
It feels very pretentious. I mean, like we get it. You got a wavelength. Like, all right, cool, relax.
Imagine I scan your phone. I scan Sergio's phone or his arm, and it goes, "Welcome back."
Well, you got a joke, man. I'm with it. Yeah. That would be funny. People do that? That's crazy.
Yeah. I've seen those. I've seen
those. Who's ever
like,
going to do it? They're going to be like, oh, it's a song from my grandmother who passed away. And you're going to be like some sad story. And you're like, I shouldn't have even.
Well,
yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Oh, man. You made me start doing some crazy stuff. Hold on. I'm going to mute myself for a little bit. You guys go because I'll start saying some crazy shit right now. It's just crazy.
What? Go ahead and say it.
I like that he has to mute himself to like vocally scream it out loud wherever he's at. I'm
also laughing crazy. Okay, so just go ahead. I don't want to mess up.
Oh, you got your own show.
Your own show.
Yeah, that's dope.
Well, you're crazy. Then why are you saying shit like that? Now you're making me laugh. Go ahead.
If I offended anyone's heartfelt tattoo, I apologize.
What if it's like the last thing their dad said to them? You know what I mean?
Oh God!
I think it's. I think that the fact they got a tattoo is a great choice. Then, right?
Yeah, for sure. Especially if he was dropping some bars on you.
Shout out to everybody. Prayers for everyone. Yeah, for sure.
I'm just all I'm trying to do is I don't want you to spend too much time editing. That's all.
I think that's a wrap. I think this one's gonna be heavily edited. Yeah,
I'm saying this one is, but in general, like I go into it like being like a reasonable person.
Oh, I appreciate it. Yeah. I appreciate you being thoughtful.
Yeah, like that's my intent. 100% is what I'm trying.
I like this. No, this is good. Yeah. We're doing better.
James, I like it. You see, like what's going on, like behind the scene. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He saw it. He definitely saw behind the scenes. I was here first, and then it was James. Definitely saw both of y'all be late to this.
I was late.
You got the full experience.
Yeah, but if we're gonna get called out like that, on average, who would you say is the most tardy? Like, if you were the principal, who you hitting the tardy award with?
Oh, Sergio's got a good run. For sure. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Also,
and watch your mouth though. Don't be talking to the people's voice over here.
Yeah.
Well, the people's funny you say that. People's voice just mentioned he didn't want to talk much, so I was kind of disappointed.
Yeah.
Everyone, leave a comment out there if you want to hear more from Sergio, because I have a witness with James. He said no one wants to hear him talk, and I'm like, nope.
Absolutely.
I said no one's gonna want to hear me talk because I'm gonna tell them to not be collecting. Don't collect. Like it is a collector show. Nobody wants. Again, I'm gonna be like, nah. Like usually, I'm the negative one when it comes to certain things. Like for example, like the Batman release. Let's get right into that. We got the Batman release.
Oh, we're gonna do this. All right, let's go.
Yeah, because it actually coincides with what's going on right now.
I you might even hit it on E-Pack or what's going on?
I was chasing personally, and Doom, couldn't say it any better. I don't know if it was recorded or it was before the show.
No, it wasn't. I can go over it though. Upper Deck released officially the first Batman set, Batman 85th anniversary set, which was a Upper Deck E-Pack exclusive. Here's some of the cards. So this one on the left is like your regular base card, and the right is the parallel, the 85th anniversary, which is what is this, 1 out of 85, right, Sergio? But
correct.
But they don't hard number them, so it just says 1 of 85. So
yeah.
We also brought this up in our own group chat. Like when you meant because you brought up the Kith cards as a comparison, because they're also even though they're numbered, they don't have a unique number for each card, right? I'll say like 1 out of 100.
No, just 1 of yeah.
Do you feel like is your concern that it's easier for them to print more than they're stating? Is that what the concern is?
No, not at all. I don't
you take their word for it is my question.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really see a reason for them to print more. I don't think. I mean, listen, we looked at the ComC on these. How much are the 1 out of 85 is going for Doom? Like $6.
No, people have them at 40, 50, 60. I don't think they'll go for that much, but people haven't priced that much. And then the regular base ones are under $2 each right now. They'll be under $1 soon.
Now, since it's only 2 cards per pack, I do appreciate that the other card is physical. If you wanted to bring it home and just have a cool little card, whatever. But I mean, is it really worth more than the $1 and change it is on ComC?
No, absolutely not. This is going to be 5 weeks. The first week is 10 cards, 10 covers. Then there's themed weeks. So one's going to be about the movies, films, and then there's going to be an animated week and. I forget.
What is that? That's crazy.
Today's was these. So you have 2 cards per pack. Each pack was $6.99, I believe. And again, you can get a parallel of 85, but within the set, there's 10 cards. Once you get all 10, you can redeem for a Catwoman card, which is an achievement that is basically a preview card for Batman Metal that's coming out next year. And after 5 weeks, the achievement card is going to be the Batman. So you have to get every single achievement during those weeks to get the Batman at the end. And inside these packs, you can also hit printing plates, which are cool, but we were talking about this and we were telling James, there's only 5,000 packs and these sold out today, right? So a lot of the Marvel collectors, obviously Upper Deck collectors, wanted to take part in it. It's exciting. And yeah, there's a lot of, Batman, getting love today, which is not shocking to me at all. Of course, most of these cards are going to be under $1 eventually. And in order to get those achievement cards, usually history tells us it's never really worth it with the amount of money you got to buy in packs. Yeah. So if you're really trying to chase some of these cards, just wait it out. Let those people who want to gamble open them and then, take your time and then get the card afterwards. Yeah. That's what I would tell people. Or if you like to gamble, go ahead, dog. Don't listen to me. Go spend that money. I'm personally looking forward to the animated stuff. I think it's in 3 weeks. I think it's the 4th week where they do that. But yeah, we'll see what they have.
Yeah, I mean, I picked up a couple of packs. I was trying to hit a plate. They had some pretty dope covers. And honestly, when we talked about it, we had a laugh about it. It's well, I mean, what did I buy it for? Not because I'm gonna keep it or anything like that. It's just try to get that hit.
Yeah,
plate would have been nice.
We're also just suckers to play this game. Even us, right? Yeah. We know this, right? But I'm still bought 3 packs for what? I didn't even keep any of these cards. I just gave them all the way to the homies. But and shout out to Donovan. He gifted me one of his extra Catwomans. Some people are chasing printing plates. Some people want to collect the whole set. But a lot of, if we're being honest with ourselves, like a lot of people, it's just something new, something exciting. Hey, let me go buy a couple packs and gamble, basically. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Some people treat it as like gasoline scratchers, like some lottery scratchers.
Yeah.
Let me see if I win something.
And that's what we're trying to explain to James. Like, ultimately, like most people, like if I hit a plate, I'm being honest. And if I would say over 90% of the people hit one of these plates, they would immediately put it for sale. I don't even know why we do it. We're just bored.
For that, because
it's it, right? Like,
but like the Freudian drops, there was enough people that wanted to complete those sets, so people knew that if they hit one of those autos out of 50, they could right away post it up for sale and make money.
Yeah,
and they had like a couple of weeks where it was popping, at least the first and second year. But by the time that I believe there's a third year of it, it was way different. They weren't selling out all the time.
Yeah.
A lot of the quote unquote hits weren't selling for much, so it wasn't even worth opening them. But there's still set collectors out there, and those are the people who really grinding either trades or ComC, and you go get your cards. The majority of people, I would say, and maybe I'll get shit for it, but I think most people are just bored or like gambling. I mean, like it's not that deep. No, is it?
but hitting a play would have been cool. You know what I mean? Whatever,
Yeah, but like once you get a plane in hand, like
I'm snap selling it.
But even if you have one, and there's only certain, like, you look at the card, you look at the back, right? You either get it slab, put it in a case or something, put it in a binder, and that's the end of it. And then you go into comics, you have like stories to read, you have a bunch more artwork to look through, tons more pages. Like it's just more interesting to me right now. Who knows? Later on, I might be still on that card wave. But
I think what it is, to your point too, man, is that you could spend more time on it because there's multiple things you could do. Like you said, you could look at the artwork from every single page. Like that's something Sergio loves to do. You could read the whole story. You could get super invested into the storyline and end up buying the full run. And with cards, you're only going to look at the front and the back, and sometimes not even the back, depending on there's some of these cards that have like those puzzle pieces in the back. Like, it's not as clean.
It's a limited amount of interaction that you can do with it, and there's especially if like your main focus is just the information. Like there's so much more in the books where you go down writers, you go down IPs, you go down character lines, you go down artists. You can do all kinds of research and deeper dives and get lost in all that information. So it's
now to someone like me, who doesn't really know too much about cards, only from the questions I ask you guys in the chats, but what is a printing plate? And what is the significance and why is it important? Why do you want to hit it? Why does it sell? What's up with it?
So the printing plate is usually 4 metal plates that are used to print the card. So it's kind of like a piece of the process. And you have the black, cyan, magenta, and the yellow. Where in sports, those don't really carry any value. For some reason in non-sports, at least from what I've noticed, it does have some value. Some people like to collect the full rainbow, which is like every single card of that a specific card. So if I'm looking this Batman Year 1 Part 2 card, they want to gather all 4 plates because they want to go do the full rainbow. So now like you get bidders going against each other because people are just trying to get the best, almost like what you guys do with the foreign books. You want every single country, and that's the only reason why it has value. There's only 1 copy of each in theory. So
would you say it's like the equivalent to like original art from like a cover?
Right. Yeah, kind of. Right. It's although to a less extent. I mean, printing plates don't really get huge amount of value on the secondary market. Not as close as like hard number cards, out of 10, out of out of 5 and 1 of 1s. But in this case, like there is no numbered card. Technically, there's a parallel out of 85, but the plate would be the rarest version of that card. So people who love rarity, or people who just want to say they have it all, like they they'll pay for that.
It reminds me kind of like player worn stuff from like the sports side.
Yeah, right. Although, how many people do you know talk about the plates that way, right? Like it's not.
It's a limited group. We're talking about the Faustos, Freeze, Subbies.
Right. It's not a lot of
Maybe
people who
Nathan.
are after it.
Yeah, it's usually the character collectors.
Right, and which is a very small group. I think the majority of the hobby sees a printing play as like a cool thing if it comes out like some of these designs. They're almost like test prints, right? Where they kind of look cool if it's it's all one color. Sometimes you get the background missing, so it's only maybe like the Batman, so it makes it unique. But it's a very limited group, and we get into like this whole like we haven't talked about it much, but this whole like collector totem pole, like everyone's sizing each other up. Like there's then you get egos involved, and like now they try to establish a hierarchy. Oh, I have a better collection than you. Da, da, da. Like there's a lot of that in the small non-sports hobby.
Yeah, and
it's in the sports too, and any card market like Pokemon, whatever. But strictly non-sports, because it's so small, there's a lot more, at least in my experience, a lot more people who are trying to like get to a higher position quicker. And Batman being the first thing out, like the first time through Upper Deck, there's going to be a lot of that going on, and
that makes sense. It's a crazy thing, man, because they say that comparison is the thief of all joy, but not only like because you compare yourself to another collector or whatever, but it's impossible, to your point, to that some people say, "Oh, I got a better collection than you." It's super hard to measure, because even if you're, say for example, even if you're collecting the same character and only cards, there's still two variables that you can choose. One being one person started way before you, right? Like if someone starts collecting Surfer today, that's not fair compared to a 10-year head start that Fausto got. That's not the same thing. The same thing with Neymar. Right. It's not fair if someone starts today. Subby's been doing it for a while. And then the second thing that you don't get to choose is how much bankroll or capital you start off with. Someone might start off collecting with $100. Someone might start with $1,000. Not everybody's out here starting with $100,000 plus $1 million to invest in whatever, invest or buy whatever you're doing. So yeah, those are things. That's why you can't really compare. Like it's not a fair thing.
It's impossible to do it, and it's self-afflicted. Like it's I see it a lot like an obstacle people put on themselves. Like you don't have to think that way. You know what I mean? Like most of the people who get down in that type of mentality end up just not having fun and having a miserable time in the hobby. Or like last week's comment, right, that we got, like no one wants to know they spent a lot of money with things that were going to decline anyways, right? Like that's in itself is a terrible feeling, and for some reason we do it. I mean, I've done it at times. Like so many of us fall in that trap that we set upon ourselves, really. Like who cares? Like you have, I respect those who have a complete collection, but I mean, they're rare for a reason, right? Like not everyone's trying to accomplish something so difficult. You know what I mean? Like and people who do have some of those collections, like, bro, you're the only one who's looking at your collection that way. Like, you know what I mean? Like,
maybe you are a handful of people that are trying to collect that thing that they're doing.
Yeah, like you now expect the respect or a certain like
rank.
Yeah, ranking. Like, no, bro. Like, there's a lot of the time, like people just worried about their own things.
No, for sure.
I was talking to Free the other day. Speaking of accomplishments, shout out Free. Obviously, as you know, I love The Simpsons, and he's into cards, and he likes The Simpsons as well. And I guess back in the day, so for like collecting Simpsons cards and stuff, you'd have an insert in the cards, and it was a redemption, and you could send it back in, and you would get a sketch card from Matt Groening that he would make then send back to you. Have you guys heard of this?
No.
Yeah. Those are the Simpson sketch cards.
The gold ones? The gold border?
Yes.
Yeah, the
with
gold
the
border
gold
ones,
border.
Yeah,
and
I've
there's
seen them.
different variations too.
I think
each one was individually you'd send your redemption in, and then he would draw you one and then send it right back to you.
Yeah, I remember talking to Doom about that a while back, and the only thing personally, like, again, those are super dope, but I thought they were they were way out of my price range. They're super expensive. Like,
absolutely.
They're not giving them away. You know?
No, it's like 10,000 or above 20,000, like that type of price point for sure.
Like at that point, you could buy OA, which technically that is OA, but it's more like a little quick sketch that you could get at a con, for example.
Right, and like as rare as they were, like they weren't like extremely rare. Like once you see like things that are, few copies, like one on top, like it's tough to compare something that has like 100, or something like that. But they're awesome though. I love those cards every time they pop up.
Yeah, they're dope for sure. They're awesome.
Really dope design too. But yeah, I mean, look.
What are you saying? Did you pick one of those up, or like what's going on?
Who, me? No,
James.
No. That's way out of my
brought it
price
up for
range.
free.
Oh, Free's got one. Damn, Free.
No. We were he always likes to send me them, and I'm looking at the price range, and it's like $600.
Oh, he's trying to get you. Oh, watch out, Jay. He's trying to get you in. He's trying to get you in the card game. Nah, I see what you're doing, Free. Damn. Yeah, be careful, bro. It gets crazy when you get in the card game, bro.
Nah, Free's dope, and I like to give him shit all the time, but I'm gonna be nice this episode, Free. Nah, you do what you gotta do. I always give him shit.
We got to balance it,
Yeah, no, we do. It's you guys' turn this week to go in.
I mean, talking about Free, he posted some of his, Doom Grills. You know what I mean? Shout out to him. I was hoping we saw, we'd get Sergio to show stuff, but again, we gotta wait until Sergio.
Yeah, I don't get Sergio, man. Like it's
until he feels like it. I guess I don't know.
Yeah, I appreciate his patience, but like, I don't know what happens if something happens and we never get to see. You know what I mean? Like that's where I always go with.
It's very dark, but it's very.
It's dark, but it's a possibility.
It's very. No, you're right.
All I'm saying is, I would have to like go to Mandalay and just, if he passed away, I got to figure out where he was, and I got to talk to his son. Like, yo, I got to see what was in that box real quick. Hold on.
the box is still closed.
Yeah.
And for people listening, we have not seen the book either. We just hear the stories about it.
Yeah. I mean, it could be a myth for all we know. You know what I mean?
Yeah. How do we even know it exists?
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
It's just true. I mean, I'm a conspiracy theorist. If I can't see it, you know what I mean? Like it's hearsay.
No. Listen, I'm with you 100%.
I mean, look, if it wasn't about you, Sergio, if this was two other people, you'd be saying the same thing. Like,
100%. That's some shit Sergio would say. Yeah, you're right.
That would be it. Yeah, and you'd be in the comments. Yeah.
All day.
To touch back on the collecting aspect of things, and like I took a look at my collection. I have like 70 Doom slabs. I could be blowing up your feed every day if I wanted to, and
blow up my feed, dog. What's going on?
But like I've reached a point where I'm like, is this even like it's not for the likes. It's not like, if I get 2 likes, I don't care. You know what I mean? It's awesome. I post what I like, but I'm thinking like, is this up to the quality of what I've posted already? Because I've built myself up so high, at least that I perceive my Instagram as, and my posts and the rarities and what have you, and the obscure stuff. And now I don't know.
You're holding yourself to a certain standard, is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. And some of the stuff, I don't know. I'm just kind of like in a funk sometimes because I don't know what to post. Because there are those people that just blow up your feed 24/7. They post 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times a day, and they'll even send you their posts. And it's like, dude, I don't care about your post. I don't care about your Captain America post at all.
No,
right. Super specific. Shout out to all the Captain collectors.
No, I've been there too. Usually, no, man. I just post whatever has me like interesting at the moment. Like, I don't care if it's a base card or regular book, like whatever. It's whatever I choose. The one thing I do is take time in how I want to present it, though. That's where I have fun with it. It's not really about the item itself; it's how I choose to present it.
Yeah, I will say it is tough to not fall for those traps, though. James, like not only the standard thing for me, like the hardest time I've had with anything IG related is, and I brought it up to Sergio and Doom before, is like I don't get as much, not even likes, like just conversation, like engagement when it comes to like diecast. When I post my diecast, as passionate as I am about it, like it's not the audience that I built, for IG. I think most of the people are into cards. I would say second is comics and third is diecast. Like even
you gotta build it over time.
Yeah, I have to build. Yeah,
you gotta get some of those people.
The same thing I did with cards, and just keep posting. I guess for sure. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to take that approach because there's a lot of times that I just love taking photos, especially more so the cards, right? Because you can actually pose them as opposed to the card. You could just show the front. To your point. So yeah, I gotta post more, but I fall for that myself. I'm like, man, but it doesn't get as much love. But again, I just gotta grow that audience because there's a lot more diecast collectors than there is Marvel card collectors. That's for sure.
Right.
And comic collectors, obviously, too.
No, it's just some weeks I just don't want to be on social media too. Like that's happened plenty of times.
And that's, I think, the time that Sergio's on for the most part, as far as posting. Like he's. Yeah, I don't know how he does it, man.
No, Sergio's is different. I can tell you what Sergio. Just like I don't know, but I can assume. Maybe it's the wrong assumption, but to me, he's just playing Marvel's Capcom all day. That's why. That's why he's not posting. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He's distracted right now. He's having fun. He's a little kid. He's beating his son and Marvel's Capcom all day.
I mean, if you had over 100 matches, you can't say no to that.
I mean, he's talking about he's ranked.
That's light work,
The lie detector determined that was a lie.
That's what he's doing. I know a gamer when I see one. He's
playing right now. For all we know.
Yeah, I can hear this joystick.
Yeah, exactly. This guy's addicted. You're crazy. You're crazy. That means we're on point. Let me translate for you. You're crazy means that was on point.
No, you guys are crazy.
Look,
I'm on Netflix. I'm talking to you guys. You know what I mean? What you hear is me going through the Netflix.
Sergio's doing one of three things at all times. Just so you guys know, guys. If you're ever on the phone with Sergio, he's either smoking a J, okay? He's either on eBay.
That's false.
Or he's eating. But he's doing one of those things.
The three, or four. You have four options,
Yeah. Well, Doom just threw in gaming, so there's your fourth.
He's definitely gaming.
No, not during the podcast. Definitely not during the podcast.
But everything else, yes.
a phone call, 100%. A phone call, 100%. But we're locked in here. We're talking about collecting.
Sergio will be talking about something deep to you, like something he's going through, and then it'll be like, talking to the neighbor, talking to the local fucking liquor store guy over here, like, he's like an old guy in a small village. I'll say that.
There you go.
You know what I mean? The guy who walks in is like catching up with everybody in every corner just to make sure everything's good.
You gotta check up on the pockets, 100%. You gotta take a little. You gotta go market territory really quick.
Wow, that's wild.
Yeah, and Sergio has a big territory over there in Florida, so it's crazy.
It's a lot of spraying.
You're crazy, yeah.
So James, really quick, do you have any recent pickups that you're trying to share, or like what's going on?
Keep plaguing me for these pickups. You guys really want to know what I'm cooking out here?
No, apparently you don't watch the show. We're definitely not pressuring you. That's what we do, man. We want to see. This is what it's about.
They do it to me too behind the scenes,
Yeah. But if you want to show publicly, we respect that as well.
No, it's fine. My buddy in Mexico, shout out him. He's a big Caliman collector, like huge, and I'm always talking to him. I'm like, dude, you want to sell any of those? You want to sell any of those? Because he's got like 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 of the same copies, and I'm like, dude, they're impossible to get out here. And he's got all the different ones. So he was like, yo, my daughter's birthday is coming up. And I'm looking to, and I'm already like, what is it? What one do you want to sell? Like, let's get this done with. Don't worry about it. Let's get a birthday cake for your daughter. You know what I mean? Say less.
You're like, I'm her padrino. Just let me know what I'm paying for.
I picked up the Cali Man Colombian edition with the Doom cover. So,
oh wow,
it's pretty sick.
Nice. That's dope, bro. Yeah, congrats. Some people don't know. That's super. The Colombian ones are, for whatever reason, a lot more rare than the Mexican edition.
Yes, it is. Yeah. I was pretty excited about that pickup. I can show you these right here if you want. This is another Hyperfixation cover.
Yeah.
Shout out to Andrew, really, because he's definitely sent me quite a few links when I'm on like a super Hyperfixation thing. I'm about this cover lately. Super hard.
Oh yeah, that's a good cover. Yeah, for sure.
Oh wow. Yeah. That's cool.
Like Andrew that. definitely comes through helping me out find a couple of these. You know what I mean? So I get the glare off that.
Ooh, I like that.
Yeah. That's a good cover.
Yeah.
I've been into some dark covers lately, like as in like darker topics, if you will, type of like Batman with like a gun to his head type of situation with like a suicide note in front of him, and there's like a Hulk issue where the general or whatever, he's got a gun to his head with the Hulk behind him and everything like that. So like I'm into these like super dark-esque covers lately, I guess. This was that Greek one I picked up.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's dope. That's a Mysterio one you were talking about.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm scared of those books, James.
They are. It's super flimsy.
A lot of them come super flimsy. A lot of them are like falling apart, basically.
This one isn't too bad. It's got a lot of black suit in it too, which is actually pretty nice as well.
Yeah, it does have some nice black suit images in there.
I posted some on my story. I was actually going to call Sergio out and be like, Monster and the Mask ain't even on this, but don't even worry about that. Don't even worry.
You said it now, which is better.
That's crazy. Yeah, I got to post it for James. That's going to be my next post, James.
Yeah, how are you going to be all double cheeked up like this on the NSDC podcast? You know what I'm
saying? You see? Straight cheeks. That's crazy.
That's crazy.
Thanks for
and then
James.
This isn't a fault, but I like this movie growing up. I'm sure it's a cult classic, but I just had to grab when I saw it at this con a week ago.
Yeah, that's cool.
Speaking of Tales of Suspense 31 with the prototype Doom, in that comic from the Mask, the original Mask that's wooden, it kind of reminds me of that, by the way.
Yeah.
The prototype Doom
cover. Absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, dude. Yeah, that's dope.
I can see that.
And then a little bit of that right there.
Ooh.
It's pretty dope.
That's sick.
So there's a comic shop called Outer Limits Comics in Waltham, Mass. And you guys I was like sending you a bunch of pics, and he had a bunch of like old comic I was sending you like the videos and the pictures when I was there in the Elusive chat. It was all the ones like the comic convention booklets and stuff he had from like all over in the past years, like 98, 95, 92, all these weird like fanzines and stuff like that. Do you guys remember that in the chat?
Yeah, the black and white ones.
Yeah. It was pretty cool to see those. I always send Andrew that stuff too, because there's some weird stuff that he's posted that I've actually like seen other numbered copies of the stuff.
I like the fancy stuff. I just that's another like pretty deep rabbit hole, But I do have an appreciation for them. You know what I mean? I do think some of them are really dope. But just like in general, man, like we always go back to it too. Like it's cool that we like different stuff. You just can't collect it all. Some people can.
Yeah.
And if I could, I would, believe me. But there's so much out there. There's so much.
I mean, when you got dupes and trips, there's not too much out there for everybody else.
No, I mean, I
shout out to your friend who has 7 or 8 copies of each Calimán. You know what I mean? I'm only trying to get 2 or 3. You know, speaking of hoarding.
Recently, I also sent you a little card. You know what I mean? Sent you a little something.
Yeah, we don't got to let them know about that. That's
what I have for a while.
Oh, we don't.
No. They don't even appreciate her like we do. You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's true. They don't appreciate.
I'm gonna start using that. It's not appreciated.
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, no, you're right. Elusive doesn't appreciate it.
Oh wow. Yeah. Well, that's why I was kicked out of the Doom chat. Probably. You know? I don't appreciate it.
Yeah, that's definitely why I got kicked out of the Doom chat for sure.
Yeah, that's
didn't you leave voluntarily?
I mean,
yeah, he
allegedly.
He did.
Allegedly,
yeah.
I think he said it on the podcast. What do you mean?
Yeah.
He said shit got too cosplay-ish.
Yeah, no, I said it got too cosplay.
Oh, yeah, he did say
Role playing. I said role
He said it was cosplay. Wow.
I was like, oh, these guys actually think they're doomed. I'm like, this is wild out here. I'm out. That's what it was. I was like, oh. You know, like, yeah, as far as never mind. I don't want to go.
Then he tried to get Free kicked out. That's wild. Last week.
I mean, by Free's own standards, you know? As soon as I sold him to Diamond, he's like, oh, wow. Elusive's selling all his Doom PCs. He shouldn't even be in the Doom chat. So if you're selling Tales of Suspense 31, are you really a Doom comic collector? I mean, I don't know.
I mean, he's going through, like, changing his journey, you know what I mean?
I mean, but it definitely went from Code S to Code A. You know, I'll say that. That's as far as it gets.
Oh, wow. That's not fair.
That's crazy.
No. Wow. That's crazy.
No.
You see, you guys got me started on the whole thing. I'm trying to be cool with
you got to pull out the OA, you know what I mean? Pull out the folder for
I mean, he can pull out all the OA he wants.
Yeah, Free. Stun on him, dog.
You know? I know a lot. Hey, shout out to Jacob. I know a lot of people with OA. You know what I mean? Like,
shout out to Jacob.
Yeah.
Look, again, that's the cool thing about going back to what Doom was saying earlier about how everybody collects, man. I don't really compare myself to people like that as far as, like, not even with the Free thing. I'm saying in general with the whole OA talk that everybody always is on. Like, I'm not in a rush to own OA, or I don't feel like the need to or anything like that. If the opportunity presents itself and it's a piece that I really enjoy and I really want, I'll do my best to get it, you know, for sure. But it's not something that I dwell on or anything.
It's not something to rush into. No, not at all.
Like, yeah, I do. I think just to be honest, Doom knows this. That piece that Melfi owns, the Nightcrawler artwork by Stefan Segovia, I had a shot at it. Jacob sent me that link beforehand. I just didn't have the funds to buy it at the time. It's a dope piece. I definitely would have owned it if I had the opportunity, or if I had the money at the time. But it's not something that I'm like stressing over. You know, like shout out to Melfi, dog. Like, that's a great piece to have. Because you know, there's a lot of OA, but that doesn't mean that it's good stuff either. To me, at least for my own standards. Like,
yeah, I mean, OA is such a tricky thing, and like you really have to personally like it. I mean, that's that's a bigger conversation. Like,
no, I'm just bringing it up again because, like, to give the example that people that have FOMO, that, you know.
Yeah, well, FOMO's in every hobby, right? Like, even OA, there's FOMO. Unfortunately, like, it is. FOMO's a human thing. Like, people just try to keep up, you know, with people or be part of something, and they get into things. But I was listening because I posted some clips from the last podcast on our IG, and I was listening to some of last week's podcast again. You know, the conversation about the 92 set and what does it do with, how does the new set like impact the old set? Like, it's just, we're not authorities in the hobby or whatever, but just as a collector, like, if you get into any of this with like an investment strategy, like, it's tough already, bro. Like, these collectibles is just, if you get into art to flip it, you get into cards to flip it, that's tough to begin with. Like, it's not the smartest thing to do. So, like, the message we got where, like, oh, people just say collect what you love. I mean, part of the reason why I do that is because you learn the tough way. Like, you really, at the end of the day, you better love what you have, because there's no guarantee anyone is going to pay you what you pay for it, or like you can be stuck with it. So really, it is the best advice. And people don't want to hear that, People want to hear like, nah, you can make quick dollar here, or you can get something rare here if you buy these packs. No, bro. A lot of that's like smoke and mirrors. Like, you better love the hobby.
There's a lot of people on IG that for sure post like a hit that they did on ePack, and it might be a huge card, like $1,000 plus, but you don't know how much money they got into ePack to begin with to hit that $1,000 card.
Yeah, they probably did $5,000 worth of product to hit that. You know what I mean? Like, so now it's a $6K, and no one's gonna give them $6K because it's really worth $1K. It's just ultimately, like, if you're in this hobby or any hobby, like, just make sure you appreciate it for yourself, man. That's it. Don't think more about it. And if you do want to invest in, go ahead. Do you know what I mean? But
but do your homework.
I would not fucking invest in any of this. If anything, maybe Pokemon, because like sealed Pokemon is like, there's like enough audience there, and like, but even then it's dicey.
100%. And look, everybody, that's mixed. Let's be honest too, man. 10 years ago, there was probably someone saying the same thing on the Pokemon side. There was probably someone telling Pokemon collectors, it's not an investment, blah, blah, blah. And then 2019 hit, and there's a lot of people that made a lot of bread, let's be honest, when it came to Pokemon. Yes. Some people made millions of dollars. So there is the people that are the exception to the rule that are listening to you going, I don't know what you're talking about, because I made a lot of money. For every winner, though, there is a lot of losers that didn't make the money.
Yeah, and I'm not trying to tell people don't spend, like, do what you want with it. Yeah. I guess what I would say to those people, I don't want to hear you bitching and crying about it, though.
Yeah.
I don't want to hear like the hobby sucks because my cards went down in value.
Yeah, 100%. That's true.
We hear that too often, bro. Like, it gets
it gets repetitive.
I mean, it gets repetitive, and there's a lot of reasons why people say it because it's true. But like, if you're just for example, outside, right, looking in, like, some people right now are buying PMGs. So, and I'll use Charles, right? Shout out to Charles, Stacking Gems. He posts stories, right? Like, oh, people said, don't buy this, or buy this and buy that. I went and bought, another blue PMG, right? His strategy could be 5 to 10 years.
Yeah.
And that's his own play. He doesn't know he's banking on it. Like, he can do it. But for a lot of people who can be successful at it, there's going to be plenty more who fall for that trap. And then what happens? They get burned, they leave the hobby. You know what I mean? Like, or they get burned, they get bitter. And they try to like downplay everyone's, like, so now if someone makes $1, they try to villainize them as a villain. Like, nah, bro, he just played the game you played, but he beat you at it. So celebrate it. Right? But people don't want to celebrate that.
And to me, let's be honest, like, I think this is something that most people would agree with in the hobby, in any hobby that there's collecting involved, which is the minimum everybody wants is for the hobby to pay for itself. That's like saying you don't want something for free, right? Everybody loves free shit. So like, I don't go based on dollar amount. To me, you're winning if you have a $100 card collection and you spent $30. That's a win to me. Right. Yeah. Same thing. You can have a $10,000 card collection, but you made $100,000 in the hobby. Like, that's a win to me.
Yeah, salute to you.
So if you're doing that, exactly. I'm not hating on you, but like, to Doom's point, there's also the people that are like sour about that and consistently just talk about, again, like, not to bring up Intrinsic again or Baby Groot, but like, man, just be happy for the people that made money when they did. Like. Shout out to Amazing Spider Guy Brian. To me, that's one of the guys that let go of the most at the right time, right? Mm-hmm. Like, I remember him selling his set of purples or greens, and or vice versa, and kept the lesser ones, the least rare ones, and he did it the right way. And there's a lot of people that didn't capitalize on it, in people's eyes. Like, you look at what cards were going for at that time. And let's be honest, like someone like LaMonica, that's also it also speaks volumes that they're quote unquote what people say they are a collector, of course, but there's also like he could have definitely jumped on that train and sold that. I'm sure he sold some stuff, but in comparison to what he's holding, he didn't. Right? So like everybody took their own approach. There's people that could have made a lot more money if that's what their goal was. Obviously, it wasn't. And then there's people that were just again happy to build a PC for free. You know,
and
so there's everything in between.
And it's just part of the reason why I kind of stepped away from the card hobby too. It just got annoying because then it gets like politics, right? Then everyone wants to be right, and everybody has like an agenda. And like, bro, at the end of the day, do you like what you have or not?
Exactly.
All right, cool. Hey, you feel like you've been burned? Hey, we've all been there.
Yeah.
I mean, like it is what it is. Best thing you can do is like figure it out. Like if you want to stay in it, then stay in it, and then like figure out a new tactic, or like if you want to sell off, and then go into something that makes you happy. Just like any one of us, we're into diecast or whatever, like toys and comics or whatever. Like the whole like echo chamber of like the same talk, and it becomes all about this isn't worth this isn't worth that. Like cool, bro. Like I don't know. All that I'm glad I'm away from it at some point, and I'll joke about it too. Like I'm part of the problem at times. Like I'll joke about like who's investing in Marvel cards? There's some people got burned.
But look, let's be fair to your point. And that's something that Doom's really good at to exactly what he's talking about is, and I called this even when he was starting to collect the Ghost Rider stuff. I was like, yo, hit him up and let him know what you want in advance before he sells it. Right?
Let me get bored of it.
Exactly. But at least here's the difference between, and I've seen it from a lot of people that are not willing to do what Doom does, which is, let's say you have $100 card, but you don't care about it anymore. He'd rather get $50 for that card and put it in something he's actually enjoying. And most people have thousands of dollars worth of stuff they don't no longer enjoy, and they're not willing to lose, half of their money or more and put it into something they're going to actually get some joy out of. That's weird to me. If you don't enjoy it anymore, sell it and go get into something you do enjoy. But don't complain that you're going to have to take it at a loss. That's part of the game.
And that's like things I learned from like collecting basketball cards. Like, all right, you're going to win some, you're going to lose some, but like get in and out then.
Yeah.
Because in that time span where you're holding on to something, the market's going to change, and a card that you could afford at the time, maybe you no longer can because it went up, or like the card you're holding now is down 60%, even more. So like get something while you can. It's just, and again, I keep going back to, the anonymous, comment, but like it really made me think about it, even during this week. I'm like, I mean, there's a lot of things in there that we do need a lot more people talking value. It would be necessary, like, but there's many perspectives on how the people view the hobby, and I would hope that some of these people would just think of the other perspective at times. Maybe that's asking too much, you know what I mean? But what your situation is your situation, and a lot of people have been through it. But at the end of the day, just have fun with it, bro. Like it goes back to that. Like, why waste any time being frustrated in a hobby? It's a hobby, bro. Like, this is not real life. Real life, you gotta deal with shit. This is supposed to be your fun time, like, dog.
Well, I think by nature, collecting is a stressful thing, to be honest with you, too, right? Because blue dots says it all. Like the fact that we have to put blue dots, that's already because you're stressing, in the sense that you're anxious to acquire what you're looking for. You're like in a constant state of searching.
But that's a mindset, because it could be a
collector
positive
mindset
thing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but there's a collector mindset where like I put a blue dot, and when I see it, I get excited. I'm not stressing. I'm not waiting for it, right?
There is, that healthy approach.
It's you gotta fine tune it however people want to do it. And I know like maybe I overthink about these things. That's why like it's interesting to me, but it's yeah, man. It's not all doom and gloom out there. Just, there's several games getting played at all times. You just gotta, pull up a seat to whatever game you want to go to. And if you don't, just look from the sidelines and just watch the whole fucking party. You know what I mean? Like,
or playing your own game.
Play your own game. Wait till the dust settles. Oh, hey, you wanted some of those PMGs from Avengers Metal right now? They're probably down 50%, and like 3 weeks ago. Go get some. You get some good deals right now. DC thing. You wanted some of those cards right now? They're sitting on ComC for like $1.20 each card. You can go get all 10.
Yeah.
In
Easy.
less than you could have wasted in like 2 packs. So to each their own. Choose your own adventure. I keep going to that.
To that point too, I saw an interesting article about the PS4 the PS5 like Plus. Like
the Pro,
the Pro, right? And instead, it's kind of like turned back. I mean, it kind of went bad for the scalpers because some of these guys scalp these thinking that they're going to be able to make like 2-3x, and people are just buying like the disc drive for the other one. You know what I mean? Online. I don't know if it's like an economy thing. It kind of backfired on them. They bought all these up thinking they're going to sell them for like 700, and now they're sitting there.
People are like, I'll just get the regular PS5 thing. When you buy doubles and triples, you're gambling, bro. Like,
yeah,
you gotta choose wisely.
Like, speaking of gaming consoles, did you see that Nintendo 64 is returning in 2025 with like a 4K version?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I saw some posts. Is that the analog one, or is there like an official Nintendo 64? Because I know Analog is making one.
It's like official no, the Analog 3D. Is that what you're talking about?
So let me pull it up in case people don't know. Analog's dope company. They basically retro consoles that can you can put the physical games, and it's just the hardware. But yeah, you see the new Nintendo they're doing, and to me, like, they're always interesting because they have an amazing design team. Look at that.
Yeah.
That looks sick, bro. They've done
California Cruising, dude. That's wild.
And then
I sold all of my gaming consoles, and I kept Nintendo 64. That's the only console I have right now.
It's probably my favorite.
Shout out Star Fox 64. All
Day
Night Castlevania. Yeah.
That's awesome, dude.
Let's talk about a rabbit hole. I went into I was deep looking in Game Pro, and there's a Star Fox cover. It is unreal looking. Oh yeah. And they had like CGC slabs of it. It was beautiful looking in the slab.
That's crazy.
Man. With No Mercy, one of my favorite 64 games.
Castlevania.
That 007 GoldenEye.
Shout out to Conker's Bad Fur Day.
Yep.
You know.
Yeah. See, the interesting thing about this is that obviously the physical copy, because before, I would say relatively people were collecting like, in the box sealed. That, of course, that's always going to have like its premium. But now people are going to have to pick up physical copies of the game too. So I definitely foresee a little bump.
Yeah, this is
stuff like that.
And they're like basically preserving physical media, right? So like,
yeah, but not producing the physical replacement, just in case.
They're giving you upgraded console to like modern specs and like the best quality of gaming for like those cartridges, which is dope. Is preservation of an era, right? Like, they're not even stocking Blu-rays in Best Buy anymore, or like none of the like physical media is dying already. So this is like of another era. So.
Do you foresee that for that reason that you're bringing up? Do you foresee like the collector base for like Blu-ray and steelbooks to go up in the next 10 years?
Yeah,
it has to, right? Like, especially some of these limited pieces, like steelbooks and stuff.
Think about this for a second, just like a quick like number, right? Think about Nintendo globally, right? Obviously, the U.S. is going to have, because people in Japan can't, I don't know if that's going to be able to work if you get a Japanese cartridge, but
so they took off the restrictions on that one.
The regions?
Yeah, they took off the region restrictions.
But regardless, you being an American, I mean, you might have a Japanese one because you think it's cool, but you want to have the English copy if you want to play the game, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like just Nintendo globally, but like just Nintendo here in the U.S. Even if 100,000 people picked up these 2K, 4K Nintendos, and they want 100,000 copies of GoldenEye. Where are those 100,000 copies of GoldenEye at?
You can't reprint them, right? You can make a digital download, but you can't reprint these physical items. So they're gonna run out.
I got one. If you need me,
is there a market though? Is there a market for like can you buy the game?
Oh yeah,
on the console or no?
Oh yeah, absolutely. Oh no,
on the console, no,
like a digital.
No, but people hack the ROMs and like download the ROMs and throw them in.
We got some.
There's always going to be a market for it.
Then I'm already doing that.
Yeah.
We're good.
Yeah, any physical media is collectible at some point. Like again, this is not. It's not going to be worth tons of money, or maybe it is. Who the fuck knows? But it's a number that's only decreasing in time, right? Like.
Yeah, like I said, if 100,000 copies of that like play, and then like 100,000 copies of GoldenEye have to be like sold like raw. Yeah. I don't think there's 100,000 copies of GoldenEye on eBay right now.
Well, there you go. You just influence people to go to eBay and then buy games, dog.
There you go, guys. There's
That's how it happens.
Investment tip. Shoot me a commission when you guys make the sale. When you sell that $10,000 GoldenEye.
Enter coupon code.
Yeah. Or send your hate mail when you get burned investing in all these games too.
Send it to Sergio. Send it to Sergio if he told you to invest in Vive.
Yeah, listen, that
shout out to Victor too. If he told you to invest in Vive and you listen to him and you're down a couple grand, don't hit me up about that.
There you go.
Oh man.
I only bet on. Never mind.
I will say though, the one that said, and you never listened to me, is crypto.
No, I did not. You're right.
Right now, the Bitcoin said. I've always told you guys about the Bitcoin,
but I'm sure from when you told me to whenever it peaked, it didn't 10x. So I'm okay.
It didn't 10x, but like, dude, if you got a couple,
more than double though.
If you got a couple of things in there and you go up like 40%, 48%, bro, like that's a nice takeaway.
I mean, according to Charles, all Bitcoin's up. So
yeah, Charles is a baller though. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah, lying.
Yeah, for sure, dog.
Do your thing, Charles. You know what I mean?
He's selling Marvel and buying crypto.
I like when he breaks out the charts.
Yeah.
It was good. There's passion behind it. I like it.
Charles, break out the charts on those jambalayas you put up though.
Wow.
I was just talking shit, Charles. Hey, he deserves it. He talks a lot of shit in the comments.
We got charts on those Miz 1-on-1s, dog.
Yeah, bring those out, Charles. We want to see the charts on that. We just want to see where it's trending.
Yeah, those She-Hulks, dog. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Are those
on
an uptrend?
Oh man, that's a soft spot for James.
Oh, those Star-Lords.
James, you gotta defend your lady, bro. Come on, you gotta get in there.
Yeah,
I'm a Star-Lord guy, and that, I got literally like 2 or 3 pieces I'm trying to move, and Star-Lord ain't moving. I'll be honest. You know what I mean?
Oh my god!
But again, 2 or 3 pieces is a lot better than whatever Charles is holding over there.
What are you selling? What are you guys selling over there?
What do you want to buy?
not Star-Lord. I'm not a big fan of the Guardians.
You want Mysterio, motherfucker?
I want those comics. I want those comics. You can keep the cards.
Yeah.
James, what did so with the She-Hulk shit? Is it like how deep do you go into that?
So I don't have
some She-Hulk stuff.
I do. I don't have a single foreign of She-Hulk yet.
Really?
I've got like a short box full of She-Hulks. She's kind of been on the back burner for a little bit. I'll shout out to Doom Card because of the Batman thing. Literally, Doom Card came in, started posting Batman, and then She-Hulk got pushed way down on the totem pole.
As she should be. We'll continue.
She'll be there. Don't worry about it. She'll be there.
Doom. Sergio, for as much as that Doom cheers for women, he don't be character collecting any.
Wow.
Which is crazy.
I never tried collecting it, but I did buy quite a few She-Hulk cards and gifted to my cousin because he enjoyed it. Yeah. I bought a PMG medallions.
You want to take a lie detector test on that one?
No, that's facts. You know, look,
no, because I've only
you
known.
think I'm gonna lie about?
Elusive.
I'm lying
I've
about
only
things.
known. No. I've only known Doom to collect Mystique a little bit. You know?
Oh, he did get to Mystique.
Yeah, definitely. You still got Mystiques.
You what? You still got Mystiques?
He said, "Watch
still
your
got some
mouth.
Mystiques.
You still got some.
Still got some
holding some
Mystiques.
meat."
I like it. You know.
I mean, it's for sale, dog. I mean, but
he's at,
it's sitting right there. You know?
You picked up a couple things, some Mystiques. What are the females you collected? He's got
Spider-Woman.
The Gwen, Spider-Woman.
Yeah.
No, that's true.
I finessed a couple people with the Gwens. You know what I mean? It's part
but I'm
of
saying he didn't like any strong women like She-Hulk. Is all I'm saying. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like you mean kind of
my
I'm
favorite.
having too much coincidence, dude. Yeah.
No.
There's some She-Hulks that are dope, though. I'll say that, but
no, James.
Shout out to James.
Yeah,
and everybody
what James and Charles have in common is they just like they're like a strong girl. They're like a girl that can help them move a couch. You know what I mean? That's all. There's nothing wrong with that.
There you
go. Oh man.
Yeah, James, it's true, no?
Yeah, jeez.
Yo, who's mad about it if you're gonna move out and you got a girl that's strong enough to help you move all your things out? No one's mad at that, you know?
No, not at all.
No,
that's awesome.
No.
Dude, sometimes I wish I could just walk around with like a picture of that dog I have and just even bust it off in real life and just flash it to people. Sometimes, you know,
when the lady's acting up at Starbucks, you know.
Yeah. How do you spell that again? I'm all like, come on, dude.
Just buy some stickers, dog, and leave them like souvenirs.
Yo, that's the bro. You give me too many ideas right now.
No, dog.
Yeah,
that's it. That's the move.
I like that.
I like that. You know, I'm gonna get some stickers for Elusive. You know, with the QR code.
Yeah, you know me. I'm gonna hit you with plenty of them too. James caught one at least for sure before.
Oh man. I show my girlfriend the chat sometimes and just like all the side-eye dogs and all the side-eye shit, and she just laughs so much. It's like Elusive just be throwing those things around.
Yeah, because it's like, yo, you guys try to be pulling quick ones on people sometimes. You know, stop playing around. You know, especially in Victor over there. So he gets in his feelings the most. But then James goes in. I thought I used to go in on Vic. You know what I mean? James goes, James wakes up and goes, you know what? I'm gonna fuck with Victor today.
Absolutely.
100%. Yeah,
absolutely. Absolutely.
So
we were talking about that, we were talking about that sound clip tattoo thing. I was gonna say Victor's got to be like Dancing Queen or something like that. You know what I'm saying?
Damn, man.
Shut up, Vic. Shut up, Vic.
If you're driving, Vic, it's all love. But we're definitely gonna hear about it later.
You're definitely gonna hear about this for sure.
Yeah, never mind. I don't want to go in on Vic. Let's continue. Vic is
Vic a long day.
So James, we'll start with you, man. You're the guest. What are your shout outs? And for those that forget, because we got to give him props every time, he's also the guy 100%. Who started the anti shout outs. Yes. So you got to start it off for us.
Claps from y'all. Y'all better clap.
Thank you.
Man. Anti shout outs.
Thank you. I didn't think it would go that far. I didn't think it would hit like that, Wow.
It's the longest.
That's why I hit the most,
Yeah, it's the longest running what do you call it?
Tradition.
Lore.
Tradition.
NSDC lore. Almost.
Yeah, NSDC lore. We need to bring sagas back. That was one of the first ones, but that
sagas for sure. But going back to the anti shout out, man, as fun as it is for me, because I love that shit. You put fear in people. There's people that be like, yo, come on, man, I don't want to be part of the anti shout. So I appreciate that. You know what I mean? You check people without checking them. Go ahead, Brandon. Do your thing, man.
Love it. Shout outs. Shout out Tales from the Bookshelf. That's my girlfriend. She's awesome. She's the best. She puts up with me and the collecting and all that stuff, and going to books and conventions and stuff, and spending 3-4 hours in conventions and stuff. And
she's a real one.
I enjoy it. Yeah, she's a real one. Absolutely. And her collection, I'd say, is better than mine. She's in it for the art, and some of the art she gets and picks up is way better than the stuff I get. I will say that.
Nice.
And shout out the Rhino Collector. He He's a cool dude. We got to talking, and he sent me a card because he was like, I have no use for it. I don't collect Doom. So he sent me this card, and shout out him. That was real nice. I appreciate that. And no one ever shouts you guys out on the show. Like, shout out NSDC. Like, you guys are killing it out here, putting stuff out weekly. True. Like, you're doing the work for the community. You know, I like it.
We're trying, bro. You know, Sergio carries us. You know what I mean? We're just trying to
hard hitting facts.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's stuff that the people don't want to hear, but they need to hear it. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, and a lot of times, yeah, yeah, it is a therapy session, you know, because a lot of times we might even be talking to ourselves. I sometimes
100%.
run the episodes back because you know sometimes when you're talking, even though I hear Doom, I hear you, I hear Sergio, sometimes you miss certain things because you were thinking of something, right, or something that you were trying to recall.
Yeah.
So I hear him back, and I'm like, oh wow, I was like, oh, that makes sense because you know at that time I was worried about X. That's why I brought this up. So it just helps you, kind of like what you do during the day, which is a lot of self-reflection. This helps with that as well. It helps organize your thoughts.
Absolutely.
Yeah. And anti shout out. I got to anti shout out the hunters, as in like I would stereotype myself as a Doom collector. So all these people selling Doom books, they flood my inbox with messages. Yo, I got this Doom book. Yo, I got this foreign Doom book, and the price is through the roof. I'm like, no, I'm good, man. I'm all set. Like, it's goofy. It's goofy behavior. Absolutely goofy. Just because you know I collect this character, you got this book, and you're gonna bump it up another 100, 150, 175 because you know I really want it. It's like, nah, I'm not messing with that. I'll wait it out. So, anti shout out to all the goofy sellers out there trying to pull the wool over your eyes.
For sure. Yeah. And then we're definitely going with Sergio, you know, because he's the People's Choice Award. Go ahead, Sergio.
You can go next.
No, go ahead. Stop. Put the controller down.
I mean, you know, I don't really have a shout out. I don't really have a shout out because, to be honest, like, you know, it's like, you know, I've been pretty disconnected with that, so I'm not, you know, I mean, you know, shout out to James, you know what I mean? Like, obviously, like, being a homie, you know, one of the people I send little some, you know, some other stuff in there, man. But you know, we gotta collect a few things first, you know, figure out some other side quests. But shout out to him, you know, like James, good people, you know, good people in the hobby, and for sure, cool to see another, like, you know, foreign collector picking up some other dope shit. And, you know, all around, like, good dude. You know what I mean? So, shout out to you, man. We need more people like you in the hobby. And anti-shout-outs, man, I wish I had something more interesting for you guys. I really don't have one, bro. You know, I don't have anyone that pissed me off this week or anything like that. You know, I'll have to really pass on that, you know?
It's a good thing.
Yeah, we need to, I mean, just for because, you know, there's people that really enjoy the anti-shout-outs. Shout out to Vic. We got to broaden it from not only hobby, like anything piss you off this week, you give that an anti-shout-out. Just a thought.
No, nothing's pissed me off this week. You know?
Oh yeah, he's off for work right now, so he's not lying.
Yeah. Right now, like, you know, I'm in a state of zen. You know, like, just leave me there. Yeah. And you know, we'll talk about it next week. See if I feel the same way. You know.
Yeah, for me, man, I'm gonna shout out this week RMS. Shout out to his new logo. I noticed he switched up the logo.
I noticed. Yeah.
Yeah, that was dope. Pretty clean. Yeah, it was dope. So shout out to RMS. Shout out to Retrospecs. I appreciate you reaching out. Shout out to Jake, man. He sent 100%. Me this photo of his little shop, this comic shop he found where he has a job currently in. It looked super dope. It looked like a brick and mortar comic store, a little hole in the wall, but well designed. So that's pretty dope, man. I told him to enjoy that, you know, browse around and see what he could find. So shout out to him. Shout out to Manu who brought up that interesting topic this week about card alteration for grading and all that. So, you know, I threw my 2 cents in there and how I feel about it. I think the best way for again, I'll just say this. That's the only thing you can do, and it doesn't. There's no guarantee because no one knows what anybody was doing behind closed doors even beforehand. But I would say, like, if you don't like cards alterated or whatever, or altered, or maybe altered's not the right word. Pressed, excuse me, right? Pressed or polished, whatever the case may be. Try to buy cards that stick to the cards that have the old cert numbers. That's going to be your best bet. Not that it guarantees it, but it's more likely because it feels like at least that the communities there's that part of the community that accepts that is growing a little bit more and more every day. So I think it's more likely that people are setting off to get cards graded that have been pressed now, or maybe they fixed the corner and maybe those people weren't doing it before or they didn't know about it. Yeah. I don't know. So that's the only thing, because he asked that, and I told him honestly, like I'm also happy to be in a position where, for the most part, like I'm 90 to 95% done with everything I wanted to pick up, especially 90s related, like older stuff, which is where the rare, condition rarity is really takes present for me, like over numbered at that point, because there's no numbering. So you're buying condition rarity with the 90s stuff, promos or base cards or whatever. So there's only a few that I'm missing from the 90s. So I'm okay with it. I'll get to them when I get to them. There's definitely no rush, especially on the base cards. Now with more and more 10s being graded, I remember where, when we started, there was, aside from MenPal and maybe 92 those were probably the two heaviest sets being graded at the time. There wasn't a lot of 10s of different characters. There was anywhere from like 3 or sometimes even 1 to 10 copies in the PSA 10. And now, as time goes by, now you see pop reports reach, some stayed super low still, but there's a lot that's starting to reach the 30s, the 40s, the 50s, the 60s, and 10s. So you can take your time. Don't get FOMO, and that's what I'm doing personally, is still for these little pieces, things that I have bookmarked. When they come up and it's the right price, and like that Gambit promo that I posted from Crunch Munch, dude, I won that for $11 on auction recently.
Nice.
What?
So yeah, $11. So people are not, they're not paying attention to some of these auctions. So this is where you take advantage of that.
I deleted all my Marvel card fucking blue dots.
Yeah, that helps too though, because it frees up space, right? There's only a limited amount of blue dots you can have too.
Well, yeah, but I'm not like Sergio who like fucking maxes them out. I'm
not maxed out. That's false.
Me, I'm just kind of doing it just because I'm not thinking of it. But that's another thing, right? When you least think about certain cards, that's when they pop up.
Yeah,
that's when you get deals. So, it's meant to be, dog. You're meant to have it.
And anti-shout wise, I don't have an anti-shouter either this week, to be honest with you. Nothing really pissed me off at all.
No,
so.
At all.
For me, shout out to Nathan. I got like a box over the weekend. I'm like, wait, what? What's this from? And there's a Batman figure out of the blue, like a little Christmas in November. I'm like, oh, that's nice. Also, shout out to Nathan. He's just a dope friend. Just out to nowhere, like he's just like, yo, here. And he's people don't know he's a very active toy collector. So he's serious about his stuff.
Yeah.
So yeah, sent it. He saw it out there. He's like, yo, here, appreciate it. And we had a lot of episodes where we said people didn't look out for us. Lately, I've had a lot more people look out for me. I'm not really in the hobby crazy, but like shout out to Donovan hooking me up with that Catwoman today. He had a couple extras. That was nice of him. Like there's good people out there.
Yeah.
Shout out to Asher. Also, hit me up about TMNT cards. He wanted me to look at it. It has a couple extra. I'm like, I appreciate it. TMNT collectors and people from the Marvel card hobby, which is really nice and generous. So appreciate them. Always shout out to Vic. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never know what Vic I'm gonna get that day, but like I appreciate the energy.
You want to talk about flipping coins?
Sometimes like maybe I don't check this chat in a minute. Sometimes it's like, this is funny. But he's posting those reels like crazy. So shout out to Vic. Anti-shout out PSA who ruined one of my Pokemon cards.
Oh wow.
I got an email at encapsulation process. It got ruined.
Yeah.
This is what it is. It's not like a PC card, but it's still annoying.
But they're gonna take care of like don't they?
Yeah, they give you. Yeah, they at least grade it and they send it back to you, but still
graded.
Well, it's graded in the grading process. They ruined it, so like you can keep it at the grade, or they can break it for you and give it to you raw or whatever.
I mean, what's the point of?
Or you could get it authenticated.
Don't they compensate you for the difference in grade that they ruined?
Yeah, they don't charge you the grading fee, and they give you the value of the card. So at least they do that, but it's still, it's whack.
Yeah.
And that's it. This week's been smooth for the most part. Yeah. Also, shout out to the comments, people who leave comments. We didn't even get to the topic. Jugs posted a good one that I might want to get into next week about Marvel Masterpieces as a brand, not really the artwork. That's an interesting topic. I think we have some opinions on. But yeah, shout out to everyone who engages with the podcast. And yeah, bro, that's about it for this week.
Yeah.
Oh, shout out to big UFC fight this week. Y'all gonna watch it?
John Jones, stop playing with us.
Let's go.
Yeah, I want to see that, and I want to see
Mike Tyson,
Oliveira,
Mike Tyson.
Mike Tyson. I'll catch the highlights.
I sent you guys.
Yeah,
I sent you guys the video where he's like talking about like legacy stuff like that, and like he's like, yeah, he's over it. He's taking the L. He's taking those 20 M's.
Yeah, but then in another video, he's talking about like, oh, my family's I'm no one to my family. After this, they're gonna know I'm somebody. So like, it's
that was
he's conflicting himself, right?
Oh man, so he's on the.
He's contemplating. Hey, should I take the fall or should I just beat his ass for the?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, for the
I want to watch it though. I'm watching it.
For principle, just out of principle.
They got me. Yeah, they got me.
Hey, well, I mean, hey, to be fair, WWE got you.
Oh, I enjoyed WWE. Actually, less and less now. Shout out to NXT. That's my favorite thing going on right now. I mean, it's just like the beginner league. I mean, well, you think it's a shot? It's not a shot, though. I like WWE though. No, again, look, let's.
No, I know.
Yeah,
that was the whole. Yeah, you're good.
Yeah.
Hey,
look,
it was a great
let's
week.
not talk about childhood trauma. You know what I mean?
love to all you. Don't bring up my childhood trauma. You know what I mean? That's your go-to. But anyway, love all you guys. And
shout out to all the wrestling fans out there. You know what I mean? Don't let people try to kill you.
All three of you.
Joy,
all three of you. Shout out to
don't let Elusive dim your light. You know what I'm saying? And just know when Elusive says things about me.